Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure of Red Skull. We're looking today at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mockingbird. Though you will not see Mockingbird down below, only indicating Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. A Mockingbird does come with the torso and shoulder areas of Red Skull. Also comes with a pair of batons. You would be correct. Also, Spot's going to be having a look at all the figures from the Red Skull Build-A-Figure wave, so certainly stay tuned for that. On the one side, we've got on the one side, I should say, Mockingbird. The other side, we've got Carter. And on the back, the only way that you will know, by the way, the fact not listed on the front, is looking on the back, you got Marvel's Mockingbird and Sharon Carter. Armed with fierce athleticism and superior smarts, these expert agents serve the forces of justice. You know how Spot loves justice. And then down below that, we've got a picture of what Red Skull is going to look like. The figures in this set consist of Captain America, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Mockingbird, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Sharon Carter. And then if you look down below, this is exactly what I've mentioned in previous reviews. They don't list any of the names of the characters. Nothing. You've got Forces of Evil, two characters, figures 4 and 5, which are Whirlwind and Cottonmouth. And then you've got the other figures down below here, which are, trying to remember the name of this particular character. I know the other one is Taskmaster. I think this one is Demolition Man. But again, like, it doesn't list any of those characters down below. Now, some would comment down below, hey, Spot, you would know that because those are the, you know, if you follow the comics or whatnot. But I'm also thinking that Hasbro shouldn't be so clever by not putting the names of the characters, because I'm thinking parents or anybody else who wants to buy these figures are not going to know the names based on this. You know, if they look at the back, they're going to be like, well, I think Jimmy said he needed this one, but it doesn't. Excuse me, do you have Forces of Evil? Which obviously would not be the name of the character. Dumb. It's just dumb. Why? Don't be so overly clever with yourselves, you know, Marvel or Hasbro. Just put the names of the characters. I think that's a good idea. At any rate, Spot's going to take a break, rant aside. I'm going to take a break, open this up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mockingbird. There's more heading away, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. First thing that we'll have a look at before we have a look at Mockingbird is the head, or the torso that needs a head, from the Build-A-Figure of Red Skull. Torso's not bad. Again, it's missing a lot. Missing the arms, missing the legs, missing the head, and it comes with also some shoulder pads, but the shoulder pads attached to the sides. I feel as if I almost want to attach the arms first and then incorporate the shoulder pads, just then that way I don't have to struggle with them later. So I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to keep these off for the time being. There's a torso piece, you know, kind of giving you a size comparison against Mockingbird. It's about maybe 2/3 of the way. 2/3 of the size of her. Not bad. I like the color. Nice vibrant purple and red, but not really much to be said so far. Let's put those just to the side. Mockingbird also comes with a pair of batons, which I feel are carryovers from a Daredevil release. They do connect together, although extremely warped. Sadly, the culprit being the packaging that the batons sat inside. But you can display them. You can display her with both of them. You can display them together. And they just fit into her hand. And just fit. Despite the fact that her hand is small, she just still does a pretty good job of holding it. And again, you could either detach them, you could have them being held separately, or have them holding them together. Put that to the side. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll put that to the side. Alright, so Mockingbird. An updated take to the character. She's kind of more, I guess, realistically costumed versus maybe the Mockingbird back in the day. I always more gravitate towards like the old school kind of classic costumes that are over the top, like the Dazzlers, the Mockingbirds, and whatnot. This Mockingbird, you know, again, more rooted in realistic looking attire. The face is nice. Let's bring the camera in and give you a better look at the face. Blonde hair, sculpted quite nicely. She's also got a pair of glasses with translucent yellow plastic, so you can still see her eyes underneath. Would you want to take the glasses off? I'm gonna say no, because you can see how how adhered those glasses are to the face. Even though you can really see her eyes underneath, I wouldn't run the risk of ripping these off for the damage that it may cause underneath. But it's a pretty looking face. The mouth is a little... I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's because they put a shinier kind of wash on it, but it looks like it's gone past the lip area, that it looks like her lower mouth area is overly shiny. She kind of also has a Uma Thurman kind of look to her. Uma. As for the rest of her body, the body is kind of comprised of like a blue-based black with the white interior on the legs, white interior on the torso, and she's got some dark gray on her gauntlets. The strapped up boots are a nice touch. Also kind of a studded knee brace there, or knee pad area. It's not a bad looking figure. I mean, it doesn't have the oomph, wow factor for me. But that doesn't necessarily say I don't like the figure. I just kind of gravitate a little bit more towards the, the over-the-top costumes. But I like this. I like this figure. The paint... Paint-wise, the leg area right below the swivel cut of the thigh seems like it's a different white than above the leg. You may not see it so bad from a distance. Looking closer at it is kind of where you start seeing that it doesn't quite match with the leg color higher up. And for some reason too, the white around the chest area there is a little dirtier than the rest of the white. I'm not sure why. This looks like it could be plastic. This looks like it could be paint. As paint as perhaps the same as the bottom here as well. But for some reason it's dirty. I can't gauge why it would be dirty, other than maybe just paint, the way it was applied, just end up making it look a little dingier in color. Articulation, you would expect her to be limited in the head. You would be correct. The head doesn't really move all that much. Shoulders hinge out, rotate all the way around. She does have a bend in the elbow, which also rotates the forearm. She has a rotation in the hand, which also hinges also. You know what I mean. Upper torso ball joint. Lots of options there. And the legs go forward and back. Luckily, new articulation on these figures, so she doesn't have the awful swivel hinge that the older figures had. As I already mentioned, top thigh cut swivel, double hinge knees, and a hinge not only on a pivot point on the foot, but also hinge back and forth. I can't say I love this figure, but really I can't say I hate the figure either. I'm kind of just at the middle mark for me, or at least for this figure, I'm just kind of at that middle mark. I mean, she just really has a very neutral kind of body to her. The design is not overly super cool where I'm looking, I'm like, wow, that's a really cool costume. It's not an overly cool costume, but the figure I think is still pretty good. Like middle mark, I would say. This figure kind of sits right in the middle. Weigh in down below. You guys can let me know what you think of this particular figure. In the meantime, today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends. We're looking at the Build-A-Figure of Red Skull, and we're looking today at Mockingbird. Stay tuned, guys. Got a lot more videos to come, as of course we are going to be building ourselves Red Skull. Stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.